It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, Eminem and Elvin Jones. Many years ago, spring semester 1987, I took a jazz appreciation course at the University of Texas, and that experience changed forever the way I understand and appreciate all music, not just jazz. Our professor, Rob Fedson, who is himself a jazz drummer, taught us the history, artists, and styles of jazz, of course, but for deeper understanding, we also got a lot of cool music theory. One of those artists that we studied, a towering figure in jazz history who played in the post-bop style, often with tenor sax genius John Coltrane, was the legendary Elvin Jones, a drummer who was so innovative with his instrument that we, in class, we had to have some music theory just to get a handle on what it was he was doing. Professor Fedson explained to us the polyrhythm concept, which goes all the way back to Africa, and essentially polyrhythms in the Elvin Jones sense are about employing multiple time signatures at the same time. Our teacher had half the class clap out a 4/4 rhythm, while the other half of the class clapped out a 3/4 rhythm. Now, most of the effect was off-kilter, unbalanced, and weird, but every few measures, the two rhythms would sync up, and it was like, whoa, everything's balanced again. And then the two rhythms went their separate ways again, and then back together, and so on. This creates incredible dramatic tension, an effect the critics dubbed tumbling down the stairs, because it kind of feels like tumbling down the stairs. Jones, in his prime, could use up to 4 separate time signatures, one for each limb. Check out John Coltrane's classic version of My Favorite Things, particularly during McCoy Tyner's piano solo, to get a good feel for the technique. Okay, remember how I said a couple minutes ago that studying jazz forever changed how I understand and appreciate all music? Well, flash forward from 1987 to last week when I heard playing on the radio the classic Dr. Dre song, Forgot About Dre. It was the censored version, unfortunately, and I just gotta say that removing the word fuck from a Dr. Dre song is like taking a dump on Mona Lisa's face, and it simply should not be done. Anyway, I have always loved the song, but never noticed until last week how Eminem's refrain might very well be doing something similar to Elvin Jones's tumbling down the stairs effect. You know, it's the part that begins, nowadays everybody want to talk. Eminem seems to start the phrase slightly behind the beat in traditional gangster fashion, but then speeds it the fuck up, moving ahead of the beat, jamming in more syllables than anyone in their right mind would ever use, effectively creating a counter rhythm to the one that carries the song throughout. We tumble down the stairs with Eminem until he reaches the end of the line, once again perfectly matching up with the original rhythm. The motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. The cycle of tension and release the rapper creates here is just totally out of sight, giving the song a really cool edge that it wouldn't have had otherwise. It is way more sophisticated than it would appear at first glance. And you know, I know that Dre originally promoted Eminem as a way to appeal to suburban white kids, but he's no Vanilla Ice. The real Slim Shady is and always has been the real deal. My God, I never expected that I would end up saying something like that in my entire life. But here we are. Life is strange. I'm Ron Reader, and this has been Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Join me Ron Reader, again next week for another episode of Ron Reader Digs the Universe. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. The motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Remember, folks, don't forget about Dre.